If your clinic is stuck at less than $20,000 a month and you're trying everything to get that baby to the next level, including fixing your care plans, trying to get referrals, trying to build a fancy website, this video is going to walk you through number one, why you're stuck, and then number two, how to fix it and get unstuck so you can scale your way past $20,000 a month to eventually reach the inevitable $200,000 per month. In fact, if you're new to the channel, all we talk about on the channel is how to reach $200,000 per month inside of your brick and mortar holistic healthcare facility. So we do not make any income claims that we believe that you're gonna watch this video and go from $10,000 a month to $200,000 a month. But what we wanna do for you is we wanna share lessons. We wanna give you lessons of people that we have worked with at $200,000 a month or more, and so that you can apply them to your clinic today, so that ultimately you have a highest probability of getting record revenues inside of your practice. So if you're new to the channel, welcome in. And if you're a returning subscriber, number one, we appreciate you. And number two, we've got another banger for you guys today. So let's get into it. So over the last 6 years of running Clinic Growth Accelerator, I have had the fortunate privilege of taking north of 6,000 different calls with different providers, chiropractors, PTs, people doing neuropathy, decompression, PRP, stem wave, stem cell, all that kind of stuff, okay? So we do holistic marketing. And what I have found is a series of patterns and character traits of those individuals who continue to kind of spin their wheels at the sub $20,000 per month mark. And so this video was inspired actually by a recent client who just signed up in the program. And this client, very good provider, okay? This guy is dialed in when it comes to his clinical outcomes, but he has been stuck somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $15,000 a month for quite literally years. Like, he has never exceeded $20,000 a month. And a lot of it comes down to the reality is that he is just quite simply not working on the right things. He is doing all kinds of work. This guy's working more than 40 hours a week, but he just can't break through to the next level. And unfortunately, that is common for a lot of people that we talk to. They have this glass ceiling where they can see the vision is so much higher than their current reality, but they have no idea how to actually crack through to get to that next level. And so when you're less than $20,000 a month inside of your clinic, that means that you're in the infancy stage. In the infancy stage, you have one main challenge. Don't get it twisted. There's not three or four. One main challenge. And that challenge is nobody knows who you are. They do not know that your business exists. You are struggling from obscurity, which means that your main opportunity, your one and only main opportunity, is to attract more patients into your business. Only thing that matters, get more people in the door. And so your main actions, if the challenge is I need more people, the opportunity is I need to get more people, then the main actions correspond to building a patient attraction system that helps you overcome obscurity and get more than your fair share of new patients in your door. Now, I wanna walk you through some critical lessons, okay? Because there's a lot of things that you feel like at this stage that you should be doing, okay? In the infancy stage, a lot of times people are confused. But the good news is that this stage is really easy, and here's why I love the infancy stage, the less than $20,000 a month. I love it because you get to be extremely selfish. That means that you only have to focus on one thing, getting people in the door and selling them care. You don't have to focus on managing a big team. You don't have to worry about a bunch of cash flow. You don't have to worry about operational design and systems. You get to selfishly find a way to get people in the door. And also, you have to focus on what's called net free cash flow. That means that when you're less than $20,000 a month, you still want to be profitable. I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to, and some of them we've worked with, that have a massive overhead when they're starting their practice, which is extremely ignorant and not just the smartest strategy entirely. Here's why. Because when a practitioner gets in the business, they typically have debt that they've already incurred from going to school. So you're already in the red. So if you're already in the red, that means that you're gonna have debt payments that you have to make every single month. So in that case, why would we wanna overinflate our overhead, our monthly nut, just to be fancy or just to be cute? That is not a good strategy. So one of the most critical lessons at this stage is that you need to be focused on profitability. Now, some of you watching, if you're less than $20,000 a month, you might think, well, dude, my overhead's 30 grand, right? I might sit here and tell you that you may have possibly made a mistake. And that mistake, I'm hoping, is not going to haunt you forever. I'm hoping you're gonna break past that, but I do need you to be realistic and understand that overhead destroys businesses, especially when they're in the infancy stage. So your job is to keep as much cash as you possibly can. Okay, so if your overhead is 10 grand and you make 5, keep 5. Okay, bank that, all right? You wanna start banking as much cash as humanly possible during the infancy stage, which is why it's important to be profitable at this stage. Because when you go to grow in the next stage, which I'm not gonna talk about in this video, that's for a different video, but when you go to the next stage, into the adolescent stage, followed by adulthood of a clinic, you are gonna need cash reserves to be properly able and in a place to where you can reinvest in the business. I'm talking about people, I'm talking about advertising, I'm talking about systems, I'm talking about increased physical space. Like, you are gonna need cash when you go into the next few stages. So at this stage, right now, $20,000 or less per month, your only goal, be selfish with your money and turn a profit. And the best part, again, is that there's nothing for you to sustain, okay? Like, when a business is big, why is it hard to grow? Because you have to sustain what you've already built and you have to grow on top of that. Right now, you don't have that. You're less than $20,000 a month. So you don't have anything to sustain. And if you do, it's certainly not taking you full time to sustain your current patient load. So that's the upside. You don't have something in motion to sustain, but you do have to focus on revenue generating activities, marketing and sales. So just to recap, focus on being profitable. That's critical lesson number 1. If you're not profitable and you're not bankrolling and your overhead's super high, you're just gonna be a lot more stressed out and you're increasing your probability that the business is going to struggle, okay? So find a way to lean out and keep as much money, okay? I'll tell you this, I talked to a guy a long time ago, who I'll keep anonymous for the sake of this video here today. When I talked to this gentleman, I was like, hey man, like, walk me through what's going on in your business. He's like, oh, well, we're just getting started. You know, we're doing about 2 grand a month in revenue, but unfortunately my overhead is 12. 12 grand. I'm like, dude, what's going on? Like, why? Immediately inquired. I was like, what's going on? Like, why is it 12 grand? Like, what's happening? You know? He's like, oh, dude, well, we got a big space and I got 2 CAs. I'm like, dude, slow it down. 2 CAs? 2 CAs working for you. And you're doing 2 grand a month in revenue and you have 2 CAs. Like, that's called being fancy, okay? You're being cute, which is the second critical lesson. You don't need fancy stuff. You don't need a big space. You don't need a whopping 4,000 state-of-the-art facility to attract patients. This is not the field of dreams. This isn't if you build it, they'll come. That's not how it works. What happens is you just get destroyed by your overhead. So critical lesson number 2, again, is don't be cute. Don't be fancy, okay? Keep it simple. Sell one program for one niche on one channel. That means that if you're a PT or a chiropractor or someone who's doing even like functional medicine, you sell functional medicine plans to your patients. You use one channel, which is Meta or some other channel, but one single channel of attraction, and you also give them one program. That leads into the critical lesson number 3. The third critical lesson in the infancy stage of a business is that everything feels important. But a more empowering belief would be is that nothing is important besides revenue generating marketing and sales. Okay, that's your mindset from here on out watching this video. Nothing else is important besides marketing and sales. Because here's what happens. When people start a new business, it's a very exciting time. And people confuse new and exciting for important. Here's what that looks like. People start a new business. They're like, oh my gosh, we need to build an insanely good brand. We need to have a really good built out website. We need to have a bunch of affiliates in our business and partners we can refer to in the community. We gotta have immaculate referral systems. We gotta have a state-of-the-art facility, right? We gotta have all the new equipment. That is novice thinking at the infancy stage. If you're doing less than 20 grand a month and you're thinking about the things that I just listed, that's why you're stuck. Because none of that stuff actually matters. Okay, I remember in 2014, we were working on this brand, and I remember thinking, I was at a concert one time, I remember thinking, once this brand is done, dude, I'll no longer be broke anymore. I'll be good from here on out. That was the biggest lie ever. That was the biggest lie, okay? Just because you have a brand doesn't mean the market cares about your brand. When you think about the best brands in the world, why are they the best brands in the world? Because they have delivered on their promise to the consumer time and time again at scale, and that has created a brand association with the promises and products of the brand. You could just brand Nike and have it just be a brand with no good products and no good commercials and no good athletes, and it would be nothing. The brand is nothing without the core competencies and products of the business. So don't focus on brand. Focus on getting your skills up. Focus on helping as many people as you possibly can. But remember, at this stage, not everything is important. The only thing that's important is marketing and sales. My advice would be for you to perfect one channel. If you want to use Facebook, use that. If you want to use Instagram, do that. But use one channel as your primary method of patient attraction. So stop acting like everything is super important and focus on the things that are important. Getting people in the door and selling them something at a good price point that's profitable for your business. Now, a lot of these ideas we help people with at a high level inside of our paid mentorship programs. I'll actually leave a link below here in the description if you want to check out some of those. We work with people at all different stages and all different types of programs. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're in the infancy, if you're scaling past 100 grand a month. Okay, it doesn't matter where you're at. Okay, but if you do want to go to the next level, I encourage you to take the link below. I check those personally. I take a lot of the personal calls. I do a lot of consulting with our clients as well from a strategic standpoint. So there's a lot of different ways that we can help you, but the number one thing I can promise you'll find if you do decide to have a conversation with us is you'll find clarity. You'll find clarity on what to do next. And there's not much more that's valuable to a business owner than having absolute certainty on what the next move is inside the clinic. And so I'll leave a link below if you want to check that out. And so if you're thinking and you're watching this video right now, there might be some possible things that you're considering. The first might be, well, dude, I have to fix my care model first. Like I gotta make sure my patients are, like my care models are perfectly laid out, okay? I have seen people obsess over their care structures, providing customized things to everybody, and every patient is different, which they are. Those are typically, not to throw rocks, those are typically the people that struggle to scale the business because their core offer, what they give the patient is variable, okay? So as a business, one of the number one things you want is predictability in terms of your cash flow. Because if you don't have predictable cash flow, you don't have a business and there's no even point of serving patients because there is no business to serve patients, okay? So we have to understand that the patient care matters a lot. And yes, you have to make sure you have a plan in place to deliver the care. But as soon as you've got a care plan in place, there's no point in continuing to try to perfect that until you just get more people in the door. You need to get reps in the door, okay? That's like someone saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna turn off all my marketing so that I can perfect my sales process. How does that make sense? Like, how could you possibly perfect your sales process with no leads coming in? What are you doing? You talking to yourself in the mirror? Like, that's not how the game is played. You can perfect things and optimize only so much until you need to step up to the plate and actually swing the bat. So guys, if you got value from this and you wanna possibly hear us out and see how we could possibly help you at a deeper level, again, I left some links below for you to check us out. Feel free to book a call with us directly. We help clinics all the way from $10,000 a month for clinics that are, I have a client that just came in a couple months ago. She was doing $100,000 a month. We were able to get her to $150,000 a month, a 50% increase within about 60 days inside of her market, okay? So even if you don't think you're qualified, I encourage you to book with us below. Even if you got value, again, I'll leave the link below if you wanna chat with us. And on that call, no matter what, we will give you clarity, and if we can help you in one of our deeper programs, we'll let you know exactly how that works, okay? Guys, we're dropping videos twice a week on here. I do a lot of homework in our industry. I don't really know of a channel that's dropping more direct applicable value for clinicians in the holistic healthcare space with a wide range of experience from $0 up to $200,000 a month, okay? So if you wanna grow and break through that ceiling, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button, like the video. You'll get notified every time we put something out. We are putting out videos every Wednesday and Sunday on a weekly basis on the channel. Until then, I hope you got value. If you did, share it forward. We do grow organically by word of mouth on this channel. Okay, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Until then, cheers.